Hello, everybody. Wow. Thanks for joining me today. Today's live stream, I haven't gone live in a second. I've been on vacation and just haven't had time to come live, but today we are going live and we are talking about TCL's new lineup of phones. Now, they're not super new. They're kind of new. They were announced earlier this year and slowly have been released in markets around the world, but they have finally made it to the United States. So I've been getting blown up by TCL, just getting lots of, press releases, lots of embargoes. So today I'm going to go over some details of the phones, and I thought it would be fun if we could rank them. Now we'll see how many people hop on today. It's a little bit earlier than I normally go, but you know what? We'll have fun no matter how many people hop on this live stream. So the three phones that TCL has added to their lineup of budget phones are the TCL 25G Pro, the TCL S20, and then the TCL S20 SE. And so all of these kind of go from best to worst, or best high end to low end. The TCL 20 Pro 5G, I guess I should pull that baby up. That's $500. It's their high end one. Then we go down to the TCL S20. That is like $300. And then the last one, TCL S20 SE, is about $200. And they all have a little bit of a different qualities to them that make them more expensive or less expensive, including the processing power and the like. So let's get that up and running. Let's talk about the S25G. Now, I must have just closed out of that. So we're going to bring it back up. There we go. I'm pulling up some information TCL sent me so I can share it with y'all. It's not going to be the cutest way out, but you know me. Nothing I do is super cute on this channel, but we're working up towards it. So let me share my screen with you guys, and we'll talk about the qualities of the S25G. And then what we'll do is we will vote on it and rank it on my little rank sheet that we have. So this is what it's going to look like. This is the layout of the live stream today for anybody who's tuning in later, who's not part of the live stream, who's watching it after. This is what we have to rank. This is the 5G, this is the S20, and this is the SE down here. So I'll go over the different qualities of each of the phones. We'll vote on that phone, and then we'll drag it to where we think it should be. If it's superior, great, okay, and nope, no. So those are my rankings. Those are what we're doing. S, A, B, C, or D will be the rank. So let's get to going over the TCL 20 Pro 5G and the details of that device. So let's get to it. The first thing, that most important thing, is it's being sold on Amazon right now for $500. And kind of a cool perk if you are looking to buy a budget phone right now is if you buy it right now, you get a free pair of headphones that are worth like $100. So it's kind of a nice deal. If you've been looking for a lower end, a budget smartphone, this might be the one for you. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this and let's talk the details. So obviously the things that are highlighted on this phone are the size, 6.6-inch AMOLED screen. It is 5G capable. However, it is only 5G capable on Verizon ultra wideband. And if you are familiar with coverage maps of Verizon's ultra wideband, Verizon's Verizon's 5G, it is not that great. So it doesn't have great 5G coverage, and then it is available on T-Mobile and AT&T as well. Let me triple check my notes. So yeah, T-Mobile 4G, 5G. T-Mobile's 5G is pretty dismal at this point, and it's Verizon low band 5G, not ultra wideband 5G. So you do get two options for 5G on this phone, just not great options. And then it's only available on AT&T 4G. I mean, as time goes on, they might offer software updates that allow it to connect to C-band when that's released later this year, but who knows? There is a quad camera on the back, 48 megapixel camera, 4K video, 256 gigabytes of ROM, and then a 45 100 milliamp battery. So a decent device overall. Let's take a look at what it actually looks like here. And I am talking with TCL right now to hopefully get a phone to test out. So let's cross our fingers and hope TCL wants to send me some products to test. But I'm taking a look at the comments. I don't have any comments quite yet that popped in. But if you have anything you want to add or want to say, you have any opinions about this phone, type them in the comment section, and we will definitely get to them. So the great thing about this phone that makes it better than the other two that we're going to go over is the processing power, the chipset. So it is a 750 Snapdragon 750. So if we look at Qualcomm's chipsets, 750 is a really good chipset. It's more on their high-end side. It's not quite to like the flagship devices that you'd see with like the brand new smartphones that come out from Samsung. However, 750 is a decent power. It also has a 32 megapixel front-facing camera, which if you're a selfie fan, that's pretty awesome. So there's lots of good qualities about this phone. So that's basically all the details that I think most people care about. If you care, does it have Android 11? Edison Suazo, it does have Android 11. I saw that earlier somewhere. I'm not sure if oh yeah, it's right here. Operating system, Android 11. And TCL has committed to at least 2 software upgrades for the next few years. So they will be keeping up with this phone. Sometimes lower end phones, budget phones, the software doesn't keep up with the times. However, this one will. TCL will be keeping up with it. So you will be able to have it for a few years before it, isn't worthwhile anymore. Let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this phone. $500, not bad at all, especially for all that you get, including the 4K video, the 4 cameras on the back. It has an on-screen fingerprint sensor. It has a headphone jack, which is also nice, and then it's USB-C port. So all really great things for this phone. Let's and when we're voting, when we're ranking these, let's keep in mind that TCL is a budget brand. So I guess you can vote however you want. I'm going to keep that in mind in my voting. Like, we're not comparing this phone to like Samsung. We're comparing this phone to other budget mid-range phones. Okay, so let's do that now. I'm going to share this poll in the comments. If you don't have the ability to open up this link, then just comment what you think we should rank it as superior, S, A, B, C, or D. So superior is best, D is worst, and you can fill in the blanks there. So let me share this. Link is copied, and let's put it in there. For what this is worth, I am going to put A. I'm putting A because it's not fully waterproof. It is water resistant. I feel like most phones these days should just be fully waterproof. Why aren't we making that happen? It's way too easy to drop a phone in water, especially in the summer, or it's just way too easy to get it water damaged. So the only reason I'm not voting an S is because I wish it was a little higher security with waterproofness, but you know what? It's still pretty good. So that's why it gets an A. It's great, but it's not superior. It is not the best. So we'll see if anybody else is hopping on this poll today. And if you, again, don't want to open this up, then feel free to comment in the comment section in the chat, and I'll take that into consideration too. I don't want to be the only one that's ranking these. However, if I am, then that's okay with me because it's my channel and I can do what I want. It's a small live stream today. Only about 10 people in here, but you know what? I love you guys. Thank you for hopping on. So it doesn't seem like y'all are wanting to vote today. Even just put something in the chat. Let's see if you agree with me or not. I'll give it a little bit more time to see if anybody wants to put in their say. If not, then we will move on to the rank. Pause. Okay, fine. Fine, you guys. I'll have all the fun today. We'll move on to the rank, and we'll put it to A. It's a great phone. It's not the best phone. There are other options out there that this can compete with in like the 5G range, in the mid-range type phones right now. Like we have the Google Pixel devices that are mid-range phones, and we have a bunch of other options too. I have a video on best budget 5G phones, so any of those would outrank this, I feel. So it is great. It's not superior. Let's go on to the next one. Edison, what is it again? It's the TCL 25G Pro. And we're ranking the new TCL S20 series that was released in the US this week, yesterday. You're going to be seeing a lot of tech tubers putting out reviews that TCL has sent out those devices. So if you want to learn more about those, then you just search TCL S20 series. You're going to find all the unboxing videos that were uploaded yesterday from a bunch of tech tubers. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second and pull up the details of the next phone that we're going over, the TCL S20. And then we'll have one more after that, the S20 SE. So let's hop in. I just have to get it open here. Here we go. Okay, so now we are going over the second phone, which is the TCL S20 or 20S. Very easy names to remember here, people. Okay, so the differences between this phone and the last one are the differences in the megapixels and the difference in the screen resolution as well as in the ROM space. So, and actually, for this cheaper phone, the battery is bigger and the screen resolution is not as great, and the screen size is about the same. So that's kind of a good overview for you. It was full HDR for the 5G Pro, so a little bit better of a screen. And it's just live HDR for the next one for the mid-range phone here. Let's go over the cost real quick, and then we'll go over some more details. So the cost is $250. $250 for a great phone. It's compatible with all three carriers, Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T, only on 4G LTE bands though. So you won't get a 5G with this phone. So in my opinion, if you're looking to stay future-proof with your devices, this might not be the best one for you. However, this could be a great starter phone for like a young person in your family, or maybe an elderly person in your family, someone who doesn't need all the bells and whistles, but just needs a phone to get by. Sean Kaminsky, how would this phone work with Verizon? It would. This one's compatible with Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. So this one works with all three carriers, and I'm sure you could bring it to any of their MVNOs as well, like Visible, Mint Mobile, etc. So D-Doyle, yes, the battery is bigger. The last battery was only 4,500. This one is 5,000. You can see up here. If you can see it, it's kind of small, but just right up here, the battery is much bigger. Not much, but still bigger. So it's kind of interesting, the different specs they put into each of these phones to make them just a little bit more exciting for different types of buyers. So let's just keep going through here and checking out more of these specs. So it comes in two colors. It comes in this Milky Way gray, and then it comes in a green color, I believe. So it's kind of nice. Let's look at the processing power. The chipset is Qualcomm's 665 chip, a bit less power than the Pro 5G, which was coming in at the Snapdragon 750. So this is much more of a mid-range phone compared to the Snapdragon, or excuse me, compared to the Pro 5G, just because of the chipset. But that's one of the things that they traded, right? So the chip, the power is a little bit less. The Qualcomm chip is less power, 660 compared to 750 for the Pro, but the battery power is bigger, and the screen, I think, is a little bit bigger as well. So there's a little bit of some differences in these phones that are interesting that I'd assume that everything was a little bit worse, but that's not the case. Some things are better, some things are worse than the previous one. So if anybody has any questions, type them in there. Zach Armstrong, am I late? No, you're not late. I'm just early. I started the stream early because I miscalculated the plans that I have this evening. I have some fitness classes to go to, so I had to start a little bit sooner so I wasn't late for my classes. So we're just starting 15 minutes early. So for everyone hopping on right now, I apologize. Now would be a good time to pause and get everyone up to date. There's a little bit more of us now on, so we've only ranked one phone so far. This is the TCL 20 Pro 5G. It was $500 from Amazon. Well, it's $500. You can buy it on Amazon. If you buy it right now, you also get some pull headphones worth $100. I was the only person to vote on this one, so I said it was great, not superior. Currently, though, we are talking about the 20S. So we are talking about the mid-range phone of the three devices. So there was the 20 Pro 5G, the 20S, and the 20 SE. This phone that we're looking at right now is $250 on Amazon. It's compatible with all three carriers. So Edison, this will have updates too, I believe. I believe all three of these devices will have updates. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. However, it is only $250. So if it only works for you for a year and a half, 2 years, you still get your money's worth out of it. Let's take a look at some of these other features. It's 128 gigabytes of space. It has a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte. So that's always nice if you're like me and have like 15,000 photos and too much music downloaded onto your device. Then having an extra space for a micro SD card is absolutely necessary. This also operates on Android 11, which was a question we had earlier. And then also it has facial recognition and a fingerprint sensor and a headphone jack and USB-C port. So lots of these awesome features that people are always looking for in these phones, because I don't know about you, but I've seen and heard and felt myself that I really miss a headphone jack. So a phone that has a headphone jack is a-okay with me. Let's take a look at the camera. The rear camera is 64 megapixels. Plus it has a wide angle, a macro, and a camera that helps see depth some more. Those phone screens are huge. They are. These are big phones, and you should wait till we look at the SE, because the SE is the biggest phone of them all, which kind of is crazy to me, but we'll get there. We will get there. And then we have the front-facing camera is 16 megapixels. It's cut in half. It was 30 megapixels, 32 for the 5G Pro. So this is a little bit worse. This also doesn't have 4K filming capability like the TCL Pro 5G. So all around a little better and a little worse in some spaces. Better in the battery power, better in the screen size. It's bigger if you want bigger. So yeah, that's it for the TCL S20. Let's check out the, let's vote on it now. Let's rank it. Let's rank it from best to worst, however we feel that it should be ranked. The TCL S20. So let me share this poll with you all. And there you go. Okay, so S is superior, and then the rest of these are like normal grades you get in school. So S, A, B, C, D. S is great, A, B, whatever. D is the worst. S is the best, D is the worst. You guys can figure it out from there, I'm sure. Let's see. I'm not super impressed by this phone, but compared to the phone that's coming up next, I don't want to rank it too low. So I'm going to go with a B. I'm voting with B here for this phone. And we have some extra votes on here. Heck yeah, it's not just me this time. So we got 2 votes for B, 1 vote for A. Excuse me. Need some water. And I feel validated that one other person has agreed with me. One other person voted this an A. However, the last phone that we ranked was an A for me anyways, and it's way better. So I don't think there's any sort of competition there. Another vote for B. Terrific. Edison says S. Okay, Edison. I'm going to need an explanation. Why do you feel S? Because I don't feel it's superior. However, I would like to hear why you think it is. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do here is cancel out of here. I'm also going to cancel out of this one. And we're going to go to the rank system and put this to, okay. So for the rankings, I put S is superior, A is great, B is okay, C is eh, and D is just a flat no. Like, no, thank you, not at all. I will not be getting that phone. And I think that's what we might see happening with the next phone that I go over. However, I might get a surprise out of this. Who knows? You guys might really like the third phone that we covered. So let me get it open for us real quick. This is the TCL 20 series phones that we're going over. If you're hopping on now, thanks for everyone coming on to the stream right now. We have ranked 2 of the phones from the new lineup already, the TCL Pro 5G, which was an A, and then the TCL S20, which we marked as a B. And right now we are going over the TCL 20 SE, which is the lowest of the 3 new phones, the least high end. And we'll go over the specs right now, and as well as answer some of these questions down here. Zach Armstrong says, I would pass on all these. You know, Zach, I might as well. However, the Pro 5G actually isn't a bad deal considering the price and all that you get with it, especially if you're wanting some 5G capability. You get that with that phone. So a $500 phone isn't too shabby at that price for all the specs and all the different capabilities you have with that phone. Let's see. I have another question here from Bobby Warren. Hi, Sherry. Does the TCL phone work with Verizon? And yes, it does. So the Pro 5G works on Verizon 4G and low band 5G. It also works on the 4G network with the TCL 20S. However, the 20 SE does not work on Verizon yet. It's not capable to be on the Verizon network quite yet. So they said that should be coming out in this upcoming year. It should be capable with Verizon, this phone that we're going to go over right now. Jim Green, are they as good as iPhone? I guess it depends how you feel about iPhones. I think the general population would say no, TCL phones are not as good as iPhones. I'm going to say no, but if you don't like iPhones, then maybe they are. Somebody asked if these phones come unlocked on Amazon. I believe they do come unlocked. However, if you want to buy them from a specific carrier, you can do that as well. Let's see. Let's go over the specs for this SE phone real quick. So let me zoom in on this. There we go. It's a little bit bigger for you guys. So the TCL 20 SE is $190. $190, that's it. I spent more on my birthday party this last weekend for much less. So a $190 smartphone is pretty impressive. The downsides here are the processing power. The chipset is only a Snapdragon 460, which is very low end. It's not even mid-range. It's below mid. So it's a pretty not great power there. And its compatibility, as I mentioned before, is only on AT&T and T-Mobile, and Verizon is upcoming. So we're losing some compatibility with this phone, which again limits it some more. But one positive thing here, I guess if you like large screens, it's a 6.8-inch screen, which is bigger than the previous 2. So it's a bigger screen, a bigger phone for less money. So if in my brain, I see this perfect for like a grandma or grandpa or an older person who might just want a bigger phone, but doesn't want to pay like a ton of money for one of the flagship or high-end phones. So you can get a big phone for a low price point here. Let's take a look at the battery power. The battery power is also bigger than the Pro, which is the most high-end phone in this lineup. It's the best phone TCL offers is the Pro, and this battery is bigger than that. So that's kind of cool. The camera is worse off than the Pro. Obviously, we're going to have some trade-offs here other than just the chipset. But it's a 48-megapixel camera, which isn't bad. And then you have a 128 storage. So not too shabby. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go down to these specs real quick, and then I'll answer any questions that come up. Actually, I want to highlight one comment now. Zach says, you got your last phone for $125 and had it for 3 years. Woo! I can't do that. I like to get new phones too often for that. How does the Pro 5G reception compare to that of a Samsung S21 Ultra? TWCSLC. You better believe that the S21 Ultra is 100 million times better and stronger than the TCL Pro 5G. When it comes to reception or when it comes to compatibility with different networks, the S21 Ultra has all compatibilities, where the TLC 20 Pro 5G has not that many compatibilities. So for instance, S21 Ultra can reach all 5G bands. This phone only reaches like low band on Verizon and some 5G on T-Mobile. So you're not going to, it's just not comparable at all. Where the 21 Ultra is like super high end, super flagship. This is a very mid-range device, and you can't expect too much out of it. It's going to be very basic compared to the type of high-end phones that we see these days. So again, let's just take a look at some of these specs, and then we'll vote on this phone. And then we'll take a look at the final rankings, and then I'll say goodbye and tell you guys what I have on deck for this week. So 20 of us are on right now. Thanks for having on, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are great. This is one thing that some people were bugged about when I was watching reviews and reading reviews, is there's no fast charge. So it's kind of in the Stone Age here when it comes to charging capabilities. It's not going to be ultra fast charging, and it's not wireless charging on this phone. The 5G Pro, however, does have wireless charging. So if you're looking for that kind of technology, you can get that with TCL, just not on this device. Let's see. Let's look at this. The chipset again. It's a 460 Snapdragon 460. Not great. Not great at all. Again, perfect for maybe a starter phone or a phone for an elderly person who doesn't need too much and doesn't need like a super snazzy processing power, doesn't need to be super quick or anything like that. This phone also is USB-C, also has a headphone jack. So all of these phones come with headphone jacks, which is nice if that's your jam, if you love that. Also, operating system is Android 11, so still pretty impressive across the board. We like Android 11. We like having the highest Android systems on new phones. Let's see. Let's look at the camera. The rear camera is 48 megapixels. Not great, not horrible. It does have a quad camera though. So for a $190 phone, you are getting 4 cameras, which is pretty darn awesome. And I think that's it. The front camera, the front camera is dismal. It's 13 megapixels. The one up from this is 16, the S20, and then the Pro is 32 megapixels for the front-facing camera. So your selfies aren't going to be great, but they're going to get the job done. Okay, so let's vote on this, shall we? And then we can finish out our ranking for the day, and then our live stream will be about 30 minutes. Nice quick one. So, let me share this poll with you guys. And it's good because my throat is not keeping up with how much I'm talking here. Okay, vote on what you think this phone is. I don't think it's horrible. It's not a D. It has a bigger battery than the Pro 5G. So because of that, because it has a bigger battery and it has a bigger screen, which I think some people might appreciate, I can't say this is the worst phone out there, but it's close to being like a pretty basic phone. So I'm going to vote C here. Bobby, I don't know if you can buy it on Verizon's website quite yet, but I know you can get it on Amazon unlocked, and then it should work wherever you take it. So if you go to Amazon, you look up this device, you should be able to get it. Take a look on Amazon. If you're still having trouble, hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else, and I can answer your questions, or on my community page here on YouTube. I can maybe help you get that figured out. Okay, so I voted C. 2 people, one other person agreed with me. We got an S. Who voted S on this phone? You guys are pranking me. Someone voted B. I feel like you guys don't understand the point of this ranking system, but I'll go. If one of these gets it, I'll go with it. I just think y'all are crazy. Okay, if no one else is sending in a vote at the last second, then I'm going to shut this down. Bobby, I don't know what you mean. Can Leo activate it for me? I don't know what that means. Sorry, dude. Alrighty. We're going to turn off the auto refresh. We're going to say this final ranking is a C. And I think this turned out about as I thought it would turn out. Edison says D. Okay, so yeah, we have across the board, we have some interesting ranks here, but let's go over the final ranking and then I'll shut this down for the day. Again, thanks everybody for hopping on. Sorry for starting a little bit early, but I do have to get out of here pretty soon. So that's why I had to start it just a little bit earlier. Oh, he's your sales rep? Yeah, Bobby, he should be able to help you with it. I wouldn't worry. Okay, so let's go over this final ranking and then I'll say goodbye. For great, we have the TCL 20 Pro 5G at $500. It has a Snapdragon 750 chip, which is pretty great. It is capable to work on all 3 of the networks and 2 of the 5G networks on Verizon and T-Mobile. So all around a pretty awesome device. And so that's why we put it as A for great. It's not superior. It is not the best budget phone out there or just the best phone at all. So overall, though, we're going to say, yeah, it's an A. We're going A here. Oh, thanks, you guys. Thanks for the birthday wishes. It was my birthday 7 days ago, so it's still technically a birthday week. I appreciate it. Coming in at second place in this ranking tier, we have the TCL S20 coming in at $250. We voted that to be a B. It's an okay phone. It's not a great phone, and it doesn't suck, but it will get the job done. Again, I would say this is a great starter phone. It does not have all the bells and whistles. It is not 5G capable, but we still like it enough to vote it a B for the budget sphere. And then also it has a Snapdragon 665, so not the best processing power, definitely not the worst. So again, I think this is a great middle of the road budget phone. If you're looking for something cheap, this is definitely the one to go with. And then the phone that we voted for the last place of this rank is the TCL 20 SE coming in at $190. You're going to be hard pressed to find a smartphone of this quality for that price. However, this is not a great phone. I don't know why you'd buy this phone. If any of you end up buying this phone, I'd love to know how it's working out for you and why you got it in the first place. Unless you're like, maybe it's a starter phone or for a grandma or grandpa or something like that. But this is a Snapdragon 460. It's only compatible on AT&T and T-Mobile, so it's drastically it changes drastically in what it's compatible with the cheaper these phones get. And the nice thing here, it does have a bigger battery than the Pro, and it does have a bigger screen if you're looking for a bigger screen. So that's the final recap of this live stream. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. It was a small little crew today. I appreciate you guys. Hoping to get back to our bigger live streams and have some guests on in the next few weeks. But for now, thanks for watching and have a good rest of your week. I have 2 awesome videos coming out later this week on internet. So all about Verizon home internet and comparing different ISPs against each other, like T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and some satellite internet carriers, internet providers as well. So be sure to subscribe, hop on, watch those videos, comment, do all the things. You guys are great. See you later.